Good afternoon.
Can you hear me?
Of course.
Yes.
Can you guys hear?
Yes. Scrivono tutti sì. Vincenzo? Non ti sentiamo più.
Can you hear me now?
Sì, adesso sì.
Okay, so once again, welcome everybody. First of all, welcome David Grieco.
Ciao.
Thanks for being with us. Thank you so much. And
My pleasure.
this is the last session of the webinar. No, it's not the last round of the webinars we have. As you guys know, it's the assessment of your final cuts, and therefore we felt it was important to have our film directors with us. And I say last but not least, David joined. And maybe to say film director is a bit of a limit, not enough as a definition for David. David is a full round intellectual in the
Don't start.
best. No, it's true. Please let me just spread this. I mean, it's true. It's author, film writer, film director. He's worked in many roles in the crew. He was also an actor with Pasolini, and worked with Bertolucci. Film TV author, posting very important cinema shows in the 90s, and I would say a protagonist and a witness, first-time witness of the last 50 years of Italian cinema. So it's the best way, I think, to close this round of participation of film directors, film authors, I would say. And so thank you again, David, for being with us.
Thank you, Vincenzo. You said really too much. You said really too much, but you missed an important thing. I'm a journalist. I'm basically a journalist, which helps a lot in this job. And maybe I will find the opportunity then to make understand why to be a journalist helps a lot in filmmaking.
We will have a chat about this, hopefully also with the interaction of the students, of the filmmakers who are online now. So, as we did in the previous sessions, I would say that we will watch a short film, which is now very close to the final cut. This crazy ride that started in April, and now we're getting very close to the end of this experience. So, we have Amit from Israel as director, as a film director, and we also have Ali Charmi from Finland, Iran, and London, with the second short film that we're going to see. As we did for the previous sessions, we watched the film, then we have a little chat. I ask David a few things, and then you guys, you can also, of course, you're very welcome to join the discussion. So should we start with
With Ali, Vincenzo.
Not with Amit?
No, Ali
Okay.
ask... okay.
All right, so we see Ali first.
Okay, yes. Ok. Il microfono stacco perché sennò fa l'eco.
Sì, ma
Yeah, you see it. Okay, thank you.
nessuno ci parla bene. fatto finalmente lo vedo bene, perché doveva stare su YouTube forse.
E quella è?
Però,
Ecco che guardare.
You're live! I'm live. What should we do?
What do you mean? Just finish the job.
Roberto.
Roberto!
Hello. Hi. How did you get down there? Must be an amazing view from over there, right?
Yes.
Hi. Hi. Wonderful. What an amazing view.
Check if she's dead.
You really have to kill her? No way, please.
Open your mouth.
What?
Open your mouth.
Oh, God! No!
Ok. Aspetta, riattiriamo anche l'audio a Vincenzo. Vincenzo, ci sei?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Can you guys hear me?
yeah. Ah, sorry.
Okay. I ask you your opinion about this and your feedback, David. Just let me say that there was a main issue on this set because the main actor got injured at the very beginning of the shoot. He cut his leg, so he had to go to the hospital. He wanted treatment. They stopped for a few years and they had to work
3
without
years.
him. Now, I don't
3
remember
hours.
when he was
Sorry.
back, but for sure that had an impact on Ali's work and the crew altogether. That doesn't mean that there are issues. I mean, regardless of that, but it's fair to say. And second thing, of course, these are final cut, but we still have to do post production, so because there is a lot of lighting issues here of continuity. Apart from that, please, David, would you share with us your opinion?
Yes, first I must admit, I've seen it already. I've seen it yesterday, and I'm very happy that I'm seeing a way better print, because the print that is actually on YouTube is very, very bad. So this is way better. So I'm seeing it now, and it looks better. The problem is, in my opinion, and it's not the problem of this one. I've seen another one, and it has the same problem. There's a problem of script. There's a problem of storytelling. This one has a very good start. The start is fascinating, but then everything remains there. It has no evolution, and this is, I think, quite a common problem in young filmmakers that have plenty of good ideas. They are technically increasing their knowledge, but they don't focus enough on storytelling. And you always have to say to them that storytelling is the very starting point. Then the technique will help you to express what you want to express. But before, I mean, to be a filmmaker, I've been always taught that it starts from a white sheet of paper, and this is where you start crafting your ideas, and this is what is missing, but not here, all over the world among young filmmakers. Now that you told me about this accident while they were shooting, if that was me, I would have profited of this accident, and I would have transformed what I was doing, letting things going the way they went. There was an accident, there was somebody injured, went to the hospital. I don't know, I would have had the need to follow this opportunity, is what the American filmmakers call happy accident. This was a real accident, but can be an happy accident. And just to say another thing, which is very important, for example, in Bertolucci's film. And you know that Bertolucci is very elegant and crafts his films looks like everything was planned before. But Bertolucci always said, you have to leave an open door on the set, because you never know what comes through that door. And you have to have the reflex of trying to get profit from that, because filmmaking has always accidents. It's such an adventurous job. So this is another way of working. But the main way of working is to have a very good script and to understand on paper what exactly you want to do, what exactly you want to express. Then when you go on the set, something can always change, and you must be open to that. But you always have to start from that.
I totally agree with you. We have discussed this already together, and also inside of what television will be in the next years. And yeah, I totally agree. I think you have to be prepared. All the paperwork you do, all the preparation is just a safety net. But then when you are on set, you have to be open. You have to be ready to catch what happens there, which is the only things that matter. That's life. Everything else is death. And therefore, yes, this could have been taken as an advantage. I personally, while watching, I get a bit lost in the middle of the story. As you correctly said, the beginning is gripping. I also like the main actor.
Yeah.
This kind of James Stewart feel. So I'm expecting to go somewhere Hitchcock-esque, if I can say. But yeah, then I get totally lost in the process.
See, yeah, it's like the ending of North by Northwest, in some way. You know, the Rushmore Mountains, and I agree with you. The guy, the lead, is very good because he's a strong man, but at the same time he's very vulnerable. He wears glasses. He's frightened. He's good. He's good acting. And another thing I want to add: no matter how these young guys have learned very well in the very good schools they they were. I met them in a, I had not very much time to get to know them, but they were all very exciting for me. But no matter how good, no matter the school the cinema school you went is good or excellent, but then when you step into on a set, it's completely different. It's like if you are a lawyer, you study to become a lawyer, and then you got in court and you understand that it's completely different. Or if you are a doctor, you get in a surgery room and you understand that it's completely different. So the way to make this transition from school to set needs to be very well prepared. Otherwise, you get lost, even if you're talented.
Absolutely. David, I wanted to ask you something. I think there are also issues in terms we anticipate that in terms of decoupage. What would you say about this?
I don't know what to say, because I think that if you start with the wrong leg, then everything could be wrong, but it's not true. It's very important the way you start, because if you start with the wrong leg, then everything could be criticized. You have to start with the right leg, and then everything comes together.
Yeah, absolutely. I also have the feeling, but then after we want to hear from Ali. For me, and this was something happening when we talked about pre-production. This is one of the only short film, one of the few that was shot all in one location, even though it was a bit complicated to reach. But I never see this location that much. I feel, now I'm talking a bit more camera-wise, I feel that we were always too tight in the shots and always very frontal, and you never feel this mounted that much. So this is something that if we go more in the camera, I have this feeling. I don't know about you. What do you think about this, David?
Yeah, I totally agree with you, because if they didn't mention in some way that it's the Etna, I would never say that this is the Etna, because Etna is such an amazing place, and I don't see it here. And so this is another missed opportunity. But you know, these are all details, stupid details, because you have to start with the right leg. That's the point. Then everything comes together. We know well enough that this happens. But if you start not prepared, everything could be wrong. But this doesn't mean you're not talented. You don't have to do this job. No, it's. This is why I'm criticizing, but at the same time, I don't want nobody to get hurt from that, because I know that these kids are talented. I know. I saw them. I saw their face. I spoke to them. The problem is the way you go from school to work, which is always the same in whatever field.
Totally. And we'll hear from Ali. Ali, I see you there online.
I mean, the Hitchcock reference was very right. I feel my script was supposed to be much more in style of Hitchcock than what the film ended up being. I felt like it pretty much worked okay on paper, and because we had to rush. Which had a lot to do with trying to do too much with not enough time, and then on top of that also, the accidents that happened. I basically just got what I could to tell a story rather than trying to, build up the suspense, what I was planning to do. But yeah, I hear what she's saying. It makes sense. Yeah, what I'm just trying to do now is just kind of make something out of it that makes sense. I'm hoping the new audio I'm recording, like ad-libs I'm recording, is gonna make it more clear. Plus, all that stuff. So we'll see what happens.
don't want to get you to lose your job. So, but, no, I think it's you are the one who know best what happened, what you missed, or what you could have done. When we talk about Hitchcock, I would say that David mentioned North by Northwest. Now, funny thing, which I think is the masterpiece by Hitchcock, the total masterpiece that he made among many masterpieces. But we never know what would he call it, the who did it, who done it. We never know what this microfilm is about in North by Northwest. Nobody really cares. The film is not really about that, isn't it? Here, things are a bit clear from the very beginning. We know that basically he wants to get rid of his wife, but then he doesn't. That's so. So, what was for you the transition in this? That he fails to get rid of his wife. Basically, this is what the story was about.
Oh, why is he trying to get rid of his wife? Or sorry, I'm not sure if I got the question.
So, if I'm not wrong, the whole thing is about him with his mistress trying to get rid of his wife.
Yes, sir.
And basically he fails.
Yes.
Alright. No, just to... David, do you want to...
For me, this is very clear for me. I mean, it's very clear what he wants to do, and it's a brilliant idea, because it's very actual, because he's a man who has his feet in different places, like men used to do for ages. But nowadays it's hard. Nowadays it's hard to have a wife, a mistress, another mistress, and everything. Because there's the revenge of this creature, this marvelous creatures called women. They're very strong now, and we have to face their revenge. I think this is a very beautiful subject, and I think I understood what he wanted to do. He didn't really accomplish that, but what he's saying about the time, the place, and everything is, of course, it's absolutely right. He had a lot of difficulties, but the cinema is made of that. Remember that what you see on the screen, it's always, no matter how expensive the budget of the film is, it's always the result of many accidents. Because when you do a film, never everything goes the way you want. Of course, nowadays with special effects and films that are not films, they can plan everything around the table, and it's going to be just what they planned. But there's no life in it. This is not cinema. Cinema is made of accident. And another thing, just because I'm here at the Centro Sperimentale in Rome, and I was here exactly 50 years ago, and we had the visit of many great filmmakers, because the school was occupied. That was 68, 67, 68, the days of the revolt. So the students were here, they're sleeping here, eating here, and inviting great directors that were coming. Pasolini came with Jean-Luc Godard, and one that came, and I had the chance to spend some time with him, was Frank Capra. Frank Capra, I think I don't have to explain who Frank Capra is. And Frank Capra says, among many interesting things, said, young guys, remember one thing, that when you think about a movie, the movie is absolutely clear in your mind. But then when you step on the set, this movie that is so clear in your mind will be completely different. So think that this is going to happen. This happens all the time. For example, you want to do a film in Hitchcock style, and it's never going to be Hitchcock. Just because we're talking about cinema now and we're all connected. Of course, we talk about Hitchcock. I said could be the Rushmore Mountain. There's an Italian, by the way, who built those faces. We know that since 48 Hours. And it's an Italian that made all these faces, George Washington, Abraham Lincoln, and everything. And try to forget whatever you've seen before you step on a set. Because your film, you may think that you want to do a film in Hitchcock style, and you will see at the end a film in Vittorio De Sica style. Because you don't know what your style is. You think that it would be just like the film you love the most. But then it's going to be always different, because it's going to be your style. And also that the references, try to avoid the references. When you step in there, it's just like a war. You're on the front, in the war, and you gotta come out alive from that. And at the same time, you have to tell the story you want to tell. And this is an attitude that helps, because these young students are so cultivated in cinema and everything. But this could be an obstacle.
I agree. What I kind of meant with the Hitchcock style is I was trying to make it more about the suspense, which is now kind of isn't there, because things just happen super fast when.
It's there, Ali. It's there. But could be disappointing, because it's there. The way it starts, like Vincenzo said, is very gripping. But then you really are waiting for something that never really happens. But there is some suspense. But it's worse. You succeeded this way. But then it's kind of disappointing. So maybe if there was no suspense, it would have been more poetical, and maybe you would have saved your ass. You know.
Yeah, absolutely. I think this is the issue here. Ali, is there anything you want to add about this?
No, I mean, at this point, I'm just trying to make something that makes sense, that people are not too confused when they've seen it. But yeah, I mean, it was, yeah, I made notes. I don't know, if there's anything like I could do at this point. I don't know if there's much. I mean, what I have, and I have a limited amount of time. But yeah, I mean, I'm happy to hear it makes some sense. So that's good to hear.
You still have some time to ask and to see what you can get out of it. And I just want to raise again the point that, and that's not to give you a hard time, just as a case study. Remember, you had many shots planned for this. What was like 40 shots or something like that?
Yeah, I think wait a minute.
But you had the advantage, say, unlike the others, of being in one location. So maybe if things would have not happened the way they happened with the actor, maybe you would have managed to get all your shots. How many shots did you get in the end?
I think near 30. Like, we got like a shitload of shots. But still, I mean, yeah. I think it comes down to like I've said a lot of times, it was the first time I've done anything in 5 years with actors. So I think in hindsight, there were a lot of other ways of doing what I was trying to do. But since, because I've been storyboarding commercials for the last couple of years weekly, I think that kind of storytelling was too much in my mind. But yeah.
It was good to be back at actors, right? Because Ali graduated 5 years ago from the London Film School, and since then has been working as a storyboard artist. So I guess it's a good experience. I presume that's been a good experience for you to get back on track.
No, definitely. It was. It was good to be back, and definitely want to direct more. Though I'm a bit disappointed, because I think there was a lot there I could have done better and differently, but at the moment I'm just happy if it's gonna make sense.
All right. I hope too, and I hope it all also have the chance and the opportunity to be back on set and direct something else.
No, I made a film on a cell phone like a couple months ago, actually. A month ago. So, because of that, I made a new film. But anyway, I need to get back to work. Thanks a lot for the comments and stuff.
Okay, no, thanks for taking the time from your work to be here, and we will talk soon, Ali, then. And yes, that's it. Let's. Is there anyone who has like questions? The other people online, anyone wants to like intervene or say something? No? So I guess before we move to Ali's, to Amit's, I'd like to show the trailer. It's a short trailer from David's last film, that is La Macchinazione in Italian.
Okay, I'm gonna go, but thank you. No, talk to you guys later.
Ciao Ali.
Ali.
Ciao Ali, can I tell you a last thing?
Hi Ali.
Are you there?
And,
Sentite.
so I was saying
No,
that
you
I
went
would
away,
like to
okay.
watch together. We take a 5 minutes, 10 minutes break. We watch the trailer and we move to Amit for the next one. Okay, guys?
Ok.
Magari spiega
So,
cos'è, oppure lo dico io.
Vincenzo?
Okay. Yes.
Sì, no, David voleva spiegare il
No,
teaser.
è pensato che voleva fare una pausa adesso. Ok.
Ah, sì,
Ah.
sì, ok, facciamo una pausa e torniamo.
perfetto. Ok.
Ok.
Okay.
Zigaretta.
10 minutes.
Zigaretta.
So we'll see you guys in 10 minutes.
No, adesso poi è importante parlare. Questo è uno storyboard, è quello il cazzo di
Sì,
guaio.
sì, infatti
È quello il
te lo
cazzo
volevo
di guaio.
dire.